What's up guys, Perry from Rockville here, and today I'm going to show you how to set up your ACC-T. So everything comes included in this travel bag here, so let's open it up and see what's inside. Cool, so we got the lighting tree that has two separate tiers on it, so we can have 2 rows of lights. It also comes with the pole extender, so we can make the lighting tree even taller. And it also comes with some hardware to attach lights onto the lighting tree. So I'm just gonna set the bag aside so we can get going on our setup. So if we know we wanna make our lighting tree extra tall, we can set up the pole extender first. To do that, all you're gonna do is loosen up this knob here at the bottom. Then once it's loose enough, we're going to line up the hole on the bottom of the extender to the top of our speaker stand, just like this. And then we can tighten it up to lock it in place. After that, we can set up the lighting tree to the top of the pole extender. For today's setup, we're not going to use the pole extender because we're not going to make our lighting tree as tall. So we're just gonna take this off for today, but remember, you always have the option to use the pole extender if you wanted to make your lighting tree extra tall. So now the next thing we can do is set up the lighting tree to the top of our stand here. And to do that, we're gonna look for this knob here on the bottom of the tree and make sure that it's loosened up. Then once it's loosened up, we can line up the hole at the bottom of the lighting tree to the top pole like this and slide it on just like that. And then we can tighten the knob here at the bottom to secure the tree onto the stand. So on the lighting tree, we have these 4 arms, and this gives us the option to set up 2 rows of lights. So to show you how to set up the arms, I'm gonna just do one at a time. So I can take this arm here, and I'm gonna bring it up just like this. Then to secure the position of the arm, I'm gonna use this safety pin here and run it through this hole, just like this. And now we have one of the arms set up, and we're just gonna do the same exact thing to set up the rest of the arms here. Now you can tell this is the back of the lighting tree because you see the wires of the safety pin here. So if you want, you can turn the whole thing around for a clean. So once the tree is all set, the next thing we can do is set up our lights. We have 2 separate lights here. We have a par light with this bracket attached, and we also have a wedge light, which we also have the option of setting up to the tree, and we're gonna get to that a bit later on. For now, we'll just set up one of our par lights to the tree. And to do that, we're gonna take one of our pieces of hardware here. So if we take a look, the hardware comes with this bolt here, 2 washers in the middle, and a wing nut at the end. So to do that, we're gonna take off the wing nut, and then we're also going to take off just one of our washers here. Then we can run the bolt and the other washer to one of the holes here on the lighting tree. And for right now, we're gonna use this one right here. Then we can take the second washer and run it through the bottom of the bolt. This way, whatever light we attach to the tree won't scratch it up. Then we can take our par light and run the bracket of the light through the bolt here like this. And then we'll take the wing nut and screw it onto the bottom of the bolt to secure the light onto the tree. And just like that, we have our first par light set up. And if you wanted to set up more par lights to the tree, you're just gonna follow these same exact steps. But like I mentioned, we also have the option to set up a wedge light that doesn't have a bracket attached to it. So to do that, we're gonna take another piece of hardware here. We're gonna take off the wing nut, and we actually don't have to use the wing nut for this setup, so we can just store it somewhere. We'll take off one of our washers and set it to the side. Then we can take the bolt and one of our washers and pick a spot where we want to mount our light. We're gonna go with this guy here. So we're going to run the bolt through the holes like this, run the second washer underneath, just like this. Then we can take our wedge light and line up one of these screw holes of the wedge light to the bolt like this. Then once it's lined up, we can either screw the light onto the bolt, or we can use a trick like this where we bring the bolt up with the light and then screw the bolt in just like this. If there's still some wiggle room, you can use a wrench to hold the bolt in place while you screw on the remainder of the wedge light. And just like that, we have some lights set up to our tree. And remember, if you wanted to set up even more wedge lights, you're just gonna follow these same exact steps. Of course, this isn't just limited to par lights and wedge lights. You can set up any type of lights that you want onto the lighting tree. Just be sure to use the hardware and the holes that are along the rows of the tree. So once it's time to break down the tree, we're just gonna follow the steps that we used to set it up in reverse. So we'll start by taking the lights off of the tree. Be sure to hold on to the hardware that you used to set up the lights so that nothing goes missing. Then we can break down the arms of the stand by pushing out the pins. And then from there, we could bring each arm down. You can reinsert the pins to keep them from hanging off. Then to take the tree off of the stand, we're gonna loosen up the knob on the side here. And then we can pull the tree out just like this and set it down. Once we've taken off each of the pieces, we can place them inside of the included travel bag. So we can take the tree here, place it inside the bag, place the extension arm inside, and we also might recommend placing the hardware inside as well so it doesn't go missing. Then we can zip the bag shut, and now we're all set to bring the ACC-T to the next gig or event, or to pack it away. So hopefully this showed you guys how easy it is to set up your ACC-T. But of course, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to our customer support team through phone or email. As always, I'm Perry from Rockville, and we'll see you guys next time.